This is the E3 Spark Plug Shy Diesel Extravaganza presented by Optima Batteries. Yeah, some big-time fencing right there, as this action track is known for its sprint cars and dirt cars out here running around, so plenty of protection for the fans. But today, it's all about truck pulling, and of course, the Shy Diesel Show really brings them the best here, and truck pulling courtesy of the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. Out of the box first here for the Pro Stock Diesel trucks will be Jared Cox. And the boosted Outlaw comes out here, puts 302 and 88 on the board, and that'll be the mark to beat.
It's been really cool to see him come out here under the tutelage of his father, Todd, his third season in the truck, and to see how much he's grown, and to see, I know we overuse consistency, but to see how consistent he's been in the truck and just really making passes and just learning more and more and just getting better as he finds himself third in the points so far.
And you can see how much wider that front footprint is in the rear. Looking for that fresh dirt as we take a look at our pulling order here.
So many big name players. Of course, our points leader, Matt Penn, the third hook of the evening. You got to look out for Andrew Grove and Bad Timing, always a player out here. And of course, Brad Ingram in the Shy Diesel Machine will be one of our later hooks in the category. All players for this points race.
Gotta love the name of this one. Here comes Chris Mast and the Skeeter Control.
It's a little early. We don't quite need that yet.
Yeah, he's gonna fog it down anyways. Oh, mechanical right there, and boy, you can see how violent that ride turned into. The sled slamming in the back of the truck as well. Plenty of ground speed. He was just getting going. But unfortunately, something breaking there on the Skeeter Control.
And you're taking a look at that footprint. Not quite as wide here for Skeeter Control. As you can see, that's where it let loose, and really the sled kind of catching up to him, giving him a little bump there. That's one of the reasons why we have so many safety precautions and the belts and the safety things that we have on the truck there for these guys. And of course, his intercooler out front spilling just a bit.
Yeah, so it does look like something maybe in the driveline broke there and then kind of locked itself up. Here's a look at the points. You talked about Matt Penn leading. Then Brad Ingram a little bit deeper in the pulling order, in the Shy Diesel just 6 points back. Jared Cox rounds out your top three, but we still have 5 more hooks to go here this season, including here today at Terre Haute. So again, this one far from over as well.
Yeah, Matt Penn really dominated last season, winning the points in this category. And it was the first year for all the new rule changes, and one of those being the cut tires. And that's really made a difference for these guys, along with the driveline changes that have been imposed, making things a lot more durable and making it more so that they can put that power to the ground a lot more efficiently.
Boy, and Matt Penn's going to be exposed here. 291 and 65 is the distance, so he misses the mark a little bit, at least in comparison to Jared Cox and the boosted Outlaw. And when you go back and you take a look really at the podium finishes for both Matt Penn and Brad Ingram, they're both locked up. 5 total, 1 second, 1 third, and 3 wins. So Brad Ingram has been right there. It's the top 5s that are really the difference.
Here comes Jacob Bear, doing work in off constantly.
Just so much power out of these things. So awesome to watch them sail down through there. 311 and 51. We have a brand new leader.
Yeah, this is always a tough truck in competition. You know, usually we see Kurt Hazley driving this. Of course, it is the Hazley machine-backed machine out here. But Jacob Bear has really kind of been coming into his own the last few years. His dad, John Bear, we see in the Grin and Barrett machine. And so he's coming into it, and Hazley's trust him to do the work in there and be the hired gun here for off constantly.
Yeah, man, he's off to a great start here. We'll see if he can grab the win. Of course, a lot of good trucks, including Rod Tarr coming up here next in the Twisted Metal Machine. Of course, Leslie had a chance to speak with him earlier today. He's still hungry for that first win, but he's been on the box a couple of times this year.
The Twisted Metal truck earned top 5 points in 6 of the last 7 events. But before that run, Rod, it was like a dry spell for you guys. What was the mechanical that you found that kind of led to some success?
I had 3 bad injectors, and we repaired them, and it's been a different truck because, you know, like I told you, I'm a good driver, and I'm a really nice guy, and that all adds to this whole profession that we're in.
Yes, because the nicer you are, the farther you go down the track, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's the bad guys that get first. I mean, that's why I just get out of it and let them have their glory, because I've been down that road, you know, and you got to let everybody share at the top. You can't, not everybody stay at the bottom. So I just picked the middle, and I've been happy.
A little sense of humor right there. Of course, he wants to stand on top of that box. I'm not sure all of those points were exactly true, but you go with what you got. The Twisted Metal truck is certainly a tough one, at least as of late. And he goes 299 and 83, just missing that 300-foot mark.
Yeah, and to be fair, Rod is a character like that all the time, whether he's on the pulling track, in the pits, wherever he is. Nice to see him back out here, you know, campaigned for many years on the series.
That effort was good enough to put him into the top 3 as it stands right now. Andrew Grove coming up here next. A truck called Bad Timing. Boy, some violent hops, no doubt cost him. He finally was able to drive through them somehow, but all said and done, 295 and 40.
And you know those other competitors are watching, knowing that they're going to have to deal with that when they come up a little bit later. Here's a look at your top 3. The young Jacob Bear out there on top. Can he hold on?
And the double track here, as you can see, at Terre Haute for the E3 Spark Plug Shy Diesel Extravaganza presented by Optima Batteries, covering our Pro Stock diesel trucks here. 14th hook of the season, 18 total. Next player, Keith Witt. Oh, man, and he just misses second place here. 3:02.10 the distance.
It's so cool to watch those cut tires dig in, and you know that these guys are on a good run when you can see that nice even stream of dirt kicking back towards the sled. It means they're moving a lot of it, and they're moving it fast, almost like a ribbon, if you will. Really hooked up hard into the track, and you can see the huge divots that they leave as well, just showing how hard they're trying to work to stretch out their distances.
Up next will be Mac McVeigh and the Tombstone truck, as he starts to build a little bit of temperature and boost inside of that Ford. And he's going to burn all 4 of them in here at 298 and 34.
It's always interesting with our diesel trucks to see that they usually stay in kind of the same path. They see somebody go out there early, you know, like Jacob Bear and Jared Cox and those guys that are in our top 3 so far, and build that road, and they don't really stray from it too much. They're not as adventurous because they don't think the track is as forgiving for them as in other classes.
Another Ford here.
Really working that throttle early.
And you know, he did a good job because it looked like that thing wanted to start hopping, and he was able to keep it out of that hop. James Barter doing the driving there in the Barter Turbo service, goes 3:01 and 42. A good effort.
And these guys are constantly watching the track. I mean, it's a struggle to get them in their trucks when it's their turn to pull because they want to watch till the very last second. And you can see the smoke changing. You can hear the RPM band change as he's working that throttle to really try to get it to smooth out and hook up hard to the track.
Yeah, and that 3:01 and 42, good enough for 4th place right now. So, yeah, a really solid number here as it turns out. Up next will be Jim Greenway. Driver coming out of Missouri. And the Bailey Diesel's going to put 3:02 and 27 on the board. Just edges out Keith Witt at 3:02 and 10 by just 2 inches. So close.
It's interesting how these guys all have their front end pointed towards that left side of the track to avoid some of those hops. But Jim Greenway, man, he's doing a lot of driving. You know, he's pulling in the 3.0 class. They hooked twice today. He's pulling in this category. Of course, the dirt changes over time, but just having those extra passes under his belt, it's got to be exhausting for him out here with all that data and trying to stay concentrated the whole time.
Next up, a good-looking Dodge here driven by Daniel Whalen called Cummins Dow. And of course, that Cummins power plant underneath the hood can build so much power. This time it's going to help him get out there to 294 and 69.
And wow, that E3 spark plugs box is just really punishing once it tops off. It looks like it's starting to top about 260, 270 out there on the track. And that's when you can really see those tires starting to burn those divots in the track.
Custom dash in there for Terry Biggs, as you can see. Those gauges up there where he can keep an eye on them. The 24 valve blackout.
It's kind of funny. If you look at the weight box out there, you see divided by 2. He went back to the 12 valve with the new changes in the category this year.
Yeah, it's pretty funny for sure. As he comes in here 5th in the points. Still looking for that first win. Goes 296 and 83.
And he told me a little bit earlier today that it's just kind of been a year of trial and error for him, you know, switching back to the 12 valve and all the changes that have been made in the class over the last 2 years, and basically the fact that he has no data. He's really back at square one trying to get his machine to work hard for him.
Well, coming up here next, he's 2nd in the points. Brad Ingram, as we were talking about before, has been so tough, and of course we'll feature him when we come back. We've got a good truck. We'll see if he can be a player for the win.
The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is brought to you by Sawblade.com. No middleman, no markup, no problem. By Polaris. Fuel your freedom. And by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world.
Welcome back to the E3 Spark Plug Shy Diesel Extravaganza presented by Optima Batteries. Current leader, Jacob Bear, on the off constantly at 3:11 and 51, but this guy rolling in here is a tough player as well. Matt Penn with a tough night here a little bit earlier as he put 291 and 65 up on the board, but let's take you back to the first hook of the season.
And talk about kicking things off in the perfect way. Brad Ingram and the Shy Diesel machine, you know, stepping down from the super stock diesel truck category into the pro stock category where he has competed for many years prior, and just showing that he still got it like he never left the category.
And he's not going to jump up into the top 3, but he does put 300.78 on the board, and that will get him well past Matt Penn. And there's 5 trucks now in between them. That should give Brad Ingram the points lead.
And, he's really been on fire here with 5 podiums in the last 6 events. And talk about taking a different approach here. Saw that the middle was maybe wearing a little bit thin, wearing out that road. Decides to pick some new ground, goes to the right-hand side of the track, and is able to leg it out there and kind of mix things up in the order.
Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight right to the very end. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch to see who's going to win this championship. Up next will be Tony Burkhardt, coming here out of Harbor Beach, Michigan. The DHD-supported machine comes out here, and he'll put 295 and 33 on the board.
And this team just really kind of struggling to find their groove this year. We've seen them intermittent out here on the circuit. Always nice to have them and see them try to put in passes to kind of get more R&D in the books and get their program up and running.
Well, Jacob Bear has to survive one more hook here. Norman Newswanger, the driver, Chapter 11. I love the name of that one. It is the name of the truck. Oh, and just misses a 300-foot mark here. The distance, 299 and 75. That's going to give the win to Jacob Bear. Solid effort for him. Congratulations. Good to see him come out here and have such a good day in the off-constantly truck. Let's go down and talk to him.
It's always nice to see the second generation pullers in the winner's circle tonight. Jacob Bear getting it done out there, but I know you've also got a lot of help from your dad behind the scenes.
Yep, he was helping at the track or at the start of the track, picking the line and telling me tire pressures and what he thought I needed to do, and I just take the advice and do what I'm told, and it works out most of the time.
How exciting is it for you to come out here, drive this off-constantly truck, and it's just running so good for you right now?
It's awesome. I mean, I can't be more thankful for Hazley's and everybody, my dad, and everybody for giving me the opportunity to come out here and do this. So.
Yeah, so much fun to have success in this very difficult class. And boy, talk about success. He destroyed the rest of the field there tonight. Jared Cox, Greenway there in third. And take a look at the depth of this field as well. There's a lot of trucks out here. Come out here and say you beat them tonight. All right, let's go down and talk to Jared Cox.
An early hook in the class takes a lot of time and patience, and you had the right combination tonight, Jared. So what do you think was the biggest thing that you got right tonight that helped you be so successful?
Probably the setup of the truck and being first puller tonight. I mean, it could have helped and it could have not. You never know, really.
You were out early watching the track, I'm sure. So what did you see out there that made you pick that spot?
It was fairly level, at the beginning, and it just looked like, a good track right down the middle.
And I know this is going to help you in the points tonight. Congratulations on your finish.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Shy Diesel, my dad, for helping me with the truck and teaching me how to drive for the last 3 years, and I'd like to thank Rod Tarr.
Yeah, handing out some kudos there to Pops and Rod Tarr. Here's a look at the points. Man, we said it was going to be tight. I thought Matt Penn would take over the points lead, but missed it by one. 3 of them at the top are all locked up. This is going to be good as we go into the final hooks of 2017. Let's go down and talk to Jim Greenway.
Well, Jim, you've just got a great setup on your truck and seem to have the number. And you've also seemed to got the number when you show up here at our PPL Silver Series events with most podium points in all of your show-ups here. What's the secret to your success?
I don't know if we really have a secret. We've been very fortunate this year. We've had a couple good runs. We watched the track tonight, watched a couple of the other guys pick the spot we wanted to run, and it worked out.
Awesome. Congratulations on the big podium tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Never miss a pull. Go to propulling.com/set reminder to add all of the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League airings to your personal calendar. Receive a calendar reminder minutes before each event airs.
We always have a great time when we come out here to the action track here in Terre Haute for the Shy Diesel Extravaganza. Hope you enjoyed all the great truck and tractor pulling as well. For more, you can always go to propulling.com to keep up with the latest action. For Leslie Mears, I'm Ken Stout. Thanks for watching the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League.